Okay, so for the debut episode of our podcast, we have our guest today. She's a student from Maple Bear, and she's here to talk about her experiences abroad and how it made her being a better person and for her personal growth. So, can you tell us a little bit more about you? Like
Yeah.
your name, how long have you studied at Maple Bear?
Yes. Hi, my name is Bruna. I am from year 9 and I went to Maple Bear in year 5, 2021. Have been studying here since year 5 and it was a great time and I learned a lot in these years with Maple Bear.
Thank you for being here. Can you tell us more about your trip? Where did you go? How long did you stay abroad?
Yes, I went in December 23 to Maple Bear. Oh, I went in 2023 to England and I stayed there about 40 days. I have an uncle there that live there about 20 years, so I stayed there in his house with a friend. A friend of me came with me there and we stayed there about 40 days.
How was your trip? How long does it take to go from Brazil to
Yeah, it
England?
was a long time. And like we were alone, yeah. We went to São Paulo and then with my mom because it was like an obligation about the airplane and airport, and then we went to São Paulo. We slept there one night and the next day my mom stayed there and me and my friend we took and planned to London. And then when we arrived in London, because the city that my uncle lives is not on London, it was a city close to there. So
Oh, nearby.
yeah, so
Yeah.
we had to take the train, and so it was like one day and something because the to São Paulo to London, I think that we were almost 11 hours. It was a long time.
Oh my God, so stressful. When you got there, you had to take the train, like right ahead.
Yes, a friend of my uncle picked us in the airport, London airport. So then he helped us with the process to entering the train, and then we went in the train. We stayed more, I think, 2 hours, 3 hours and something,
Oh my God.
until his city. And then his city was really far. His house was really far from the place of the train, so it was more 30 minutes walking because it was like late at night and he had a taxi or
By
something.
the way, how was the weather there? Because we always see that in movies it's always raining,
Right.
it's always
And it
cloudy,
was
and it's
Christmas.
cold. What was the period of the year like? What season?
It was winter because we arrived there on December 24th. So it was like Christmas. And it was, I think there was snowing there. I'm not sure because we were always or in the plane or in the train. But when we arrived there was raining a lot. Raining a lot and we had to walk. So the weather was worst.
Not
No,
very,
not very.
yeah. So not very. It wasn't like a warm
No, it wasn't.
arrival there.
No, it wasn't.
Okay. So, what was there a specific moment when you thought, when you were there, wow, I can really speak English?
Yes, I think all the time when I start talking to native people there, because my uncle had so many friends and I was always there in his house talking with his friends and like having simple conversations in the market or in the stores. So it was a moment that I thought, oh my goodness, I got it, because it's so simple it was so simple to understand, to communicate and having a conversation with me understanding and talking.
Great. In your opinion, how did Maple Bear help you reach this level of English?
I think the way that Maple Bear teach English is the best way because we have always someone there in the class checking us. The teacher is always there, helping us, correcting what we had to see again. Reading books for me is the
Oh my
most
God, the
important thing.
books.
Yeah,
A
we
lot of
a
books.
lot of books all the time, and sometimes the books are not so good, but know the English and the grammar, my speech here with TED Talk, and the test that we do like TOEFL. So everything helped me a little bit, but I think the mainly was the part of the books in the classroom.
Yeah, we read like books in your grade, in year 9, we read books over 200 pages.
Yeah.
Like we read at least 4 or 5 books over 200 pages, and we also have more books and more texts.
And the English, the way that the author writes the words is not like so easily to learn. So sometimes had difficult words, and that's why I see that it's important to have the teacher there helping us to ask, oh, I don't know this word, and then the teacher is there helping us. And when I ask you something about, Mister, I don't know the meaning of important. You don't say the translation in Portuguese to me. You explain to me in English. That's
Yeah,
what I think. Yeah.
Sometimes I even Google a picture to
Yes,
show you.
but you don't say in Portuguese.
Yeah, this is the last resource. Okay. Is there a class or an activity or an experience at school that you feel really made a difference in your learning?
Yes, I think like the daily activities that we do and the reading books in the classroom and having the teacher reading, and sometimes we read out loud. And the TED Talk was a moment really important because we produce our own speeches and then we present to everyone, to our parents. And I think that is a moment that we can learn, how to put all that we learn in the classroom to the others.
Okay. Was there a situation where speaking English helped you solve a problem or made you more confident? Were there
Yes.
more people with you that could speak English from Brazil? Like you mentioned that people in your uncle's house, there was always some people
Yeah,
there.
friends, yeah.
Were they native local people or?
Yes, actually, my uncle is Brazilian, yeah, and I went with my friend that is Brazilian, but no one there except them two was Brazilian. Everyone there was from England, and I worked there in a store that sells food. So I always had to talk with people because I stay in the part that we produce the food, and it was different because the way that they talk is different from the way that we talk, and the words that they use. And this moment when I could understand them and talk to them, have a communication and conversation, to me it was a really important thing.
Okay, so besides this, the language, what was something that you learned abroad?
I think the responsibility, because I was there alone. My parents wasn't there, so I had my own room. I had to clean my dishes, to clean my clothes, to organize the loo, the bathroom, the bed. So it was important to me. And like when I went there to visit something or to go in a store, I had to know to pick the bus or the way to come back home. So it was really responsibility.
What advice would you give to your classmates who are still learning English and sometimes feel it's hard? They say, Mister, I cannot understand what you're saying.
I think I'm still learning a lot, but I think that if I had to say a tip for my classmates or from the others in Maple Bear, I would say like pay attention in the class and ask for help when you identify that you need help, and always read the books and do the activities, because here we have this all the time, every day we have the homeworks, we have activities in the classroom, we have conversations with the teachers in English, and we have this reading time, the warms up that's why I think that is important, the way that Maple Bear organize, the English classes, because you are always talking, you are always learning this English and approaching it.
And I always say, excuse me, when you speak Portuguese.
Yes, you're always correct.
Um, so, I'd like you to describe your experience in one word or a sentence.
I think that responsibility, learning, and smiling all the time, because I had times that I do something wrong, but also something that I feel that it was correct. So it was, I was always there learning. I was
Is
having
there
mistakes.
any word that you learned there? Is like, for example, I know that we talk about Lou. I told you last year.
Yeah, you told me.
Was there any word there that it's different?
It was
Like pants and trousers?
Yeah,
Or
my uncle, because even if my uncle was Brazilian, he was always talking to me in English. So he was always correcting me, because the way the English that people from England say is different from people in Canada. So he was always correcting me about the things of the paint or the trash. I don't remember the name that they say there.
Ben?
Something like that. But what I have learned so much, it was, I don't know the name in English, but it was like phrases, sentence, like we have here. I don't know the name in English, but I learned one that was
bloody hell.
yeah, it was like he doesn't even have a plot to pee on it. You understand that?
Oh, okay. It's like a
Like someone that
quote.
is for, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for
Welcome.
your story with us. I'm sure it will inspire a lot of students, not only your classmates,
I
but
hope so.
a lot of other students.
Yes, thank you, mister.